Hey, my name's Steve, and I'm an inmate dog handler here in SATF. I've been doing this when the program first started. At first, I thought it was just going to be me babysitting dogs. I didn't think it'd be in the dynamics it is now. I didn't think it was going to be so big because we had just started and it was a pilot program to begin with. But when we started, I started having to change my old ways of thinking because I had been in here a while, and you're pretty set in your ways when you first start. Well, when we started, I had to start working with other inmates, other races, how they thought, how they believed. And if I signed on that dotted line saying that I would take care of a dog, I had to use my word, what my honor, you would say, in taking care of that dog. I had to be sincere about it. And it wasn't about me anymore. It was about that dog. And talking to other inmates and how they dealt and how they use their cues to tell the dog to sit or lay or stay, or, we started working with each other so the dog won't be confused. And that changed because, wow, we started seeing the change in the dogs. Little puppies started listening, sit and the dogs sit, and, come, they come, and wow, they were wild dogs. These are feral dogs. And so we had 3 teams at first. And these teams started working together, talking to one another. Hey, hey, how you doing your dog? Hey, how's it going? And when there was a mishap, we would help each other out. And that's not normal either, because we didn't really delve in other races. We stayed to ourselves. And you don't speak openly to other people, especially with feelings and ideas. And come on, man, when do you want to go to Oprah? So it was really big. It was a big deal. And I started seeing a lot of myself in these dogs. I know that sounds like, wow, really? These are second chance dogs. And they had problems. Well, I had problems. Coming in here as an inmate handler, like I said, I thought I was just going to be babysitting, but little did I know, I wasn't walking those dogs. Those dogs were actually training me. And to the extent I started seeing empathy, sympathy for their plights, I started seeing understanding, not just with other inmates, but with that dog and what it needed. I had to start learning consistency. I had to start learning, lower step guys all the way to upper step guys, and how I had to listen to them. I had to listen to the chain of command. It wasn't about myself anymore. I had signed on that line and I meant it. And I mean it today. And it's changing me as a person because I'm having to use the same dynamics of that dog to what I do in my days, Now I'm having to talk to staff differently. I'm having to, rules were put in place for a reason, and now I'm seeing it with these dogs too, because they have rules now, the rules I give them, when to eat, when to sleep, when to go in their cage, and so this was huge. This was really big, not just for me, but for other people seeing it too. The whole yard, the conversation started changing. Instead of, what can we do today? Now it's, hey, what kind of training you guys doing today? Or, hey, what classes are you taking? Or what? So even the conversations on the yard's changed. And that's big too. Especially from 30 years ago till now, it's like a whole 180. And now it's a California model. So now we're starting to understand that we're working more with staff with us. We're starting to be treated like regular. And now I have these dogs and I'm treating these dogs the same way they treat me. Really, I cannot say thank you enough. This was such a big deal. It really, really is. I encourage anybody that thinks about helping dogs, even to go in a shelter just to give their time a little bit, just to understand what they're going through, you'll see a big difference. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It really is. When they said the program's coming, I thought, they're just these rescue dogs, somebody's going to make money. But it wasn't. So it took me about 3 weeks, and my friend said, hey, I'm going to do it. I said, why? You have to move. You'll be uprooted from your cell and everything, and you have to go to another cell. And they said, you know what? Because it's something different. And I said, you know what? I just came out of school, graduated college. I said, I'm going to do that. I have nothing else to do. I'm going to do that. So I signed up for it, and it was the greatest chance that I ever took. It's huge. I love it. I'm glad I did it. I really am. It's nice. Especially from 30 years ago till now, it's like a whole 180. And now it's a California model. So now we're starting to understand that we're working more with staff with us. We're starting to be treated like regular. And now I have these dogs, and I'm treating these dogs the same way they treat me. Really, I cannot say thank you enough. This was such a big deal. It really, really is. I encourage anybody that thinks about helping dogs, even to go in a shelter just to give their time a little bit, just to understand what they're going through, you'll see a big difference. Oh, it's huge. It's huge. It really is. I'm so grateful to Unleash Rescue Academy. That program, she didn't just do it for the dogs. She changed us as individuals. There's maybe 60 people here working these programs from 2 different yards, and we get to speak to other yards through this program, and it's huge. I wish you guys understood that how it is in here, how we deal with one another or not deal with one another, how big differences it is because of this chain of command, because of Sam and Angel through that program. Unleash Rescue Academy has changed people's lives in here, man, and that's big. That really is. I have to say that, man. Seeing myself through these dogs, they're given second chances. Yeah, we've made mistakes. I really have. I think the biggest lesson I learned through this program right now is I don't confuse my usefulness from my worth. I know I'm worth something even before I had these dogs. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional.
Take your time.
It was a big deal to be able to see life in another thing. I'm giving a dog another chance. It's giving me another chance. Most of the times people think, oh, those guys created crimes, they should be locked up. And I agree, you know, we have rules for a reason. But we made mistakes, and now that we see those mistakes, now that we see that we were callous, that we, you know, didn't have social skills, there was a lot of things we were missing because of our past, because of how we were brought up or whatever. Giving somebody a second chance is a big deal. And we learn a lot through this, not just the program, but seeing ourselves through these dogs. And that right there is a big deal. And if people would see through a dog's eyes how they are as human beings, through the mistakes the dogs have gotten through, I think they'd see a different people. I think they'd see a different way, you know. They would look at people differently. So.
Wow, that was super well said. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I got emotional. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, take your time, and we can also turn it off if you need us.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But we did learn a lot, man, and especially that you're worth something. Hey, even people out there, look, there's people out there that's never been in here that are locked up within themselves. They don't understand that they have problems, and they don't take time to see who they are through their mistakes. And so, because of that, I think they should take the moment to see other people with the pain they go through, the mistakes they've made, and they can change through that, you know, to learn about people. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you.